Hey, what's up? This is DG. I'm going to break down today really how a human being manifests in its own life. We in this new age spiritual community, we always hear about manifestation, manifestation, manifestation. Let's really demystify manifestation and really truly understand how we are manifesting in our physical reality in the third dimension. The first thing we have to do is understand really what the definition of manifestation is. Manifestation, if I go and look at the definition of it, okay, let's just do this in real time. Manifestation definition, okay? Manifestation definition says an event, action, or object that clearly shows or embodies something like an abstract idea. So what it's saying is, when I physically show what I had been thinking, that's what it means to manifest. So the reason why I'm saying this is because a lot of us don't realize that you are constantly manifesting everything in your entire life. It's not just about, oh, I manifested this much money, or I manifested this house, or maybe this relationship. You also manifested the stress in your life. You have also manifested the anxiety that you are dealing with. You have manifested the ulcer from the worry that you have been living with. Manifestation just simply means you are embodying what you are thinking, meaning you are feeling what you are thinking. This is the definition of manifestation. So the reason why it's important to understand this, it's because it's not something that you have to have a certain amount of money, or you have to be able to meditate, or you have to, we're constantly manifesting everything in our life. So now this is why it's so important for you to have supreme accountability and responsibility over your own thoughts, because your thoughts was what was determining your emotional state, and your emotional state is what produced the feeling, and the feeling was what was determining the action that you take, and the action was what you were embodying, the thoughts. So, now that we've done that, let's understand this. You're living on three different planes of existence. We've talked about this before. The spiritual plane, the mental plane, the physical plane. Spirit, mind, body. As above, so below, right? So the thing to understand is the spirit is the thing that's creating it, the higher self. It exists outside of the video game. It is existing outside of the matrix. This is the thing that knows all things because it exists outside of time, and when there is no time, all possibilities already exist. Really hard for the linear mind to grasp, the egoic mind to really comprehend, but you can usually see this in situations when something happens coincidentally, and then you look back on it, you're like, oh my gosh, I see why I ran into this person at the store, because then they told me this and then this happened. You start to see how things were connected. Our higher self is what's leading and guiding us. The key is to be in alignment with it, because this is the causal plane. This is the thing that is manifesting our lives. Most of us, though, are unconsciously living from our ego. So now the things that we are creating in our lives are not done from a place of awareness of the spirit or the self or consciousness. It is done from the unawareness of the ego. And we're going to break down really how we manifest consciously in our lives. And when you start to understand this, now you can create and do anything that you desire in your physical reality. So the other thing about manifestation for us to understand is basically, to make it simple, because I don't want to make it harder than what it really is. When I take action on something, let's just say for me 5 years ago when I wanted to start a business, right? I sat and thought about and pretend. Pre means before, tend means to claim. I was claiming it in my mind as if this was already a physical reality, and I would sit here and imagine what it would be like. By me imagining, using this higher faculty of my mind called imagination, I started to create enough energy to circulate within my body and create a positive emotion of what it would be like experiencing this reality. So I started to feel gratitude. I started to feel excitement. I started to feel anticipation. All of these positive energies that were in line with the reality that I wanted to experience. So now by me doing this, I'm creating this emotion. I'm already feeling like I'm capable of starting this business. So now that I have the feeling that this is already something that's a reality, I start to take action. And here's what happens too. Once your heart gets in line, meaning once you are living and feeling like this is a possibility, you then become an attractor field. Your heart produces an electromagnetic field that essentially the electric is your thinking, the feeling is the magnetic, the magnetism of your feelings pull in situations that will allow you to be able to manifest the thing that you're looking to create. So I started to realize that people were coming into my life and helping me to build this business because they had more information than I did. I'm like, now looking at it, it's so obvious what had happened. I had become an attractor field for everything that was in line with the frequency that I was emitting from my thoughts and my feelings. So when you manifest, it's about you taking action on the feelings that you're feeling. But you cannot have the feeling until you feel the emotion. But you cannot have the emotion until the imagination, the thinking is so crystallized, it's so real in your own mind that then the body then starts to say, wow, I can't believe this is real. This is really happening. Here's the weird thing or cool thing about being a human being. You can think something before it ever happens. And your body doesn't know the difference whether it's imagined or if it's real. Both on the negative and the positive end. How many times do you ever get stressed out about something? You get stressed out about something and you literally get sweaty palms, but then that thing never really transpires the way you thought it would. Your body didn't know the difference. So my point of this is getting you to realize why it was so important for you to feel what it would feel like for it to be done. I take 15 to 20 minutes every single day when I have a big goal, and I just sit here and imagine what it would be like. What would I do once I accomplish this goal? More importantly, it's about the energy that that goal would produce. So do not try to manifest the physical thing. Do not try to manifest money. Do not try to manifest a relationship. You will never get there. You're actually coming from a place of lack. Instead, ask yourself, what emotions would this thing, this physical goal, give me permission to feel? Let's just say money, for example. Money would give you the permission to feel secure, to feel peace. Let's just say that's what it is in your own life. Now, you should be looking to produce the feeling of peace inside of your body. So now everything that I'm doing and I'm thinking about the money, but more importantly, I'm pretending and feeling the peace that I would feel because I have that money. The thoughts go out and send a ripple into this field of energy, this electrostatic field of energy that we're living in. We call it whatever you want, the universal field, the quantum field, whatever you want to refer to it as. You're creating a ripple. Then when our hearts are in alignment with it, that is what magnetizes and pulls it out. So imagine like your thoughts send out a cast net. It sends out a net with that frequency, and then our hearts pull that frequency in. And we're pulling in essentially when it's going out into the field as a wave, but then it's coming back as a particle. And the particle is the thing that's actually going to materialize and create your physical reality. So we always say where attention goes, energy flows. And we know that through quantum mechanics, through the dual slit experiment, what we give attention to is what collapses the wave of infinite potential into a particle. Every time that you feel it in your heart center as if it is done and you're living from this positive emotion, this positive vibration, you are now collapsing that wave of infinite potential into that specified particle of the thing that you are looking to manifest. So I will tell you something that has helped me to manifest and create my reality exactly how I desire. I stopped chasing after things and started to communicate with the universe with the language that the universe speaks. It's energy. So I asked myself, okay, if I want to build this business, what energy would this business provide? Gratitude. Abundance, hope, the feeling that I would feel knowing that I built this business to be able to help billions of lives. The fact that I would be able to get to a platform where I could help encourage the masses and give them permission to start loving themselves and working on themselves. This would bring a peace beyond understanding that I am helping humanity. More importantly, I am helping myself. So by doing this, That's the energy that I'm focusing on. So I'm sitting here, maybe I'm meditating, maybe I'm just sitting here daydreaming, I'm looking out a window. I'm just sitting here imagining how unbelievably great it would feel to know that I was able to help her, I was able to help him, he was able to help her, and so forth and so on. And now I'm focusing on the energy that this situation is producing. And then once I feel that, it's my responsibility now to see the fears that keep me from taking action. Because what I find with a lot of people is they have the thoughts, they feel the emotion, but then they don't take action. The reason why you won't take action is because there's a blockage of this thing called fear. Fear is just another tactic of the ego to protect a wound. So this is why I tell you, you cannot manifest your life truly the way you want until you go back in the past and you do the healing. Most of us don't realize that we are creating our lives from an unconscious state. We are creating our lives from a wound. The more that you heal your past, the more it will increase your vibration. You will be able to have more self-worth in the present moment. We know that we can never create anything that we believe we're unworthy of. So as I increase my self-awareness, I increase my self-worth in the present moment. And as I increase my self-worth, guess what? Now, this thing that I'm looking to create, I believe that I'm worthy of it, so I will always take action on something that I believe that I'm worthy of. But the fear that you're having that's stopping you is really the subconscious program of that you're not really worthy of the thing that you want. So this is why I'm telling you, the real secret to manifestation is healing. That is the real secret, because every time you go back in the past and you heal, you make a new version of yourself in the present. And now this new version of you in the present has at least the faith to believe it was worthy of creating the version in the future. So the real work is you working on yourself. The real work is the manifestation of the new version of you. Remember, the being is what's creating the reality. I will always take action based on where I am in my state of mind. So this is why it was so important for me to fracture, to heal up and patch up the past, to get rid of the wounds. So now I'm not creating from a place of lack. I'm not creating from a place of fear. I'm not creating from a place of a impoverished mind. I can now come from a place of self-worth, from self-esteem, from self-confidence, from abundance. Do you see how this works? So on this journey of manifestation and creating the life that you want, the next thing is to understand really that you taking action will be the thing that slows this high vibration of this thought and these emotions and brings it into the physical reality. When you start thinking of the dimensions of light, let's just say fifth dimension is moving super fast like this, fourth is moving about like that, third dimension is moving like this. Look how much easier you can see my hand. The only thing that's changed is still the same hand. The only thing that's changed was the rate of vibration. The same goes in our physical reality. Everything that you see in a physical reality is the slower vibration of somebody's imagination, somebody's thought. So therefore, our physical reality is nothing more than crystallized thought. This is why the alchemists refer to it as the prima materia, the first material. This is the first thing. It was your imagination. So to slow this high vibration down, it's about us taking action. So the reason why I say this is because you can't create something just sitting in a lotus position and meditating all day and think that it's just going to magically show itself. There had to have been some type of action in the third dimension to slow the vibration down of the thoughts and the emotions to make it crystallize into a physical reality. We can look at the simple formula of building a house. I have an architect who has this plan in his head. He then writes it down. But before he writes it down, he sits here, he imagines what it would look like, what the foundation would look like, what each room would look like. And then he writes it down and builds it out on a piece of paper. He makes the blueprints. And then those blueprints are a form of reality. He's created what he had in here and put it on paper, but there's another step. Now it's about taking even more action, putting even more energy to now building this structure with wood, with tile, with concrete, with cement, with all of these different materials to create it. So you see, the more energy that I put into something through action, the more of a possibility of slowing down this high vibration of the imagination and the emotions and feelings so that it can create this physical reality. So one thing I learned along this journey of manifesting and creating my life in reality, I used to listen to all these new age spiritual tapes and these videos and these podcasts saying that you just meditate on and the feeling is the secret and all you have to do is feel it in your heart. But they missed out on something of I had to take action and how important taking action was. But here's the deal. And I see this a lot of times in lives, and I see this in my own life at times where I used to. I wouldn't take action on something because I didn't really think the thing that I wanted was even a real possibility, meaning I didn't think I was worthy of it. You will never outperform or create anything higher than your self-worth. Never. In order for me to increase my self-worth, I have to increase my self-awareness. And as I increase my self-awareness, I will start to increase my level of self-acceptance, meaning I accept me as I am. I accept all my traumas, all my past, all my abuse, anything that I've dealt with. That was a part of my journey, a part of my story. And then here's what ends up happening. Now that I've increased my level of self-acceptance, I increase my level of self-love. So now I love myself, meaning I accept all parts of me as they are. So now because I've increased my level of self-love, I now have a higher level of self-worth. And because I have a higher level of self-worth, I believe that thing that I'm looking to create, I'm worthy of it. And this, my friends, is the simplified way of manifestation. It's about you embodying it, but you can't embody something if you didn't believe that you were even capable or worthy of being it. Do you see why we're called human beings? It was about you being it. So my advice to you, if you're looking to create your life in 2024, okay, my advice to you would be to start the process of seeing where are my wounds at? Where do I feel insecure? Where do I feel like I'm not good enough? When do I feel like I need validation or approval from the outside? What happened in my past? Do I have a fear of abandonment? Do I have trust issues? Do I have an avoidant personality? Do I not like to deal with my responsibilities? Do I run from things? By you doing this, this will allow you to start to become more accountable, and we can't fix something if we're not aware of it. But once you become aware of it, you can start the process of fixing it. And each time that you heal a part of yourself, you will create a newer version of yourself in the future. So this is the simplified step or steps of manifestation of how we're actually creating our lives. And this is why I'm telling you, in order for you to create the life that you want, you have to heal the versions of you that don't serve where you want to go. Those are old vibrations that are resonating in lower frequencies of shame, guilt, and fear. You cannot create something of a higher vibration coming from a lower vibration. I have to go back and patch that up, add light to it, send positivity to it, realize how it's helped me in life, realize what I would do differently if I could go back, and then I can send or change the narrative of that situation to increase my vibration in this present moment. And now I'm closer to moving to the vibration of that version of me that I'm looking to manifest in my future reality. Take this with you. I hope it works. I hope you understand it. We're going to go just a little bit deeper here in a little bit to really understand the metaphysics behind manifestation. Once you understand this right here that we talked about, now we can start moving into the deeper esoteric understandings of quantum mechanics, metaphysics, the stuff that really helps you crystallize this whole notion or concept of manifestation and how human beings are creating our lives.